Hi, I'm Mac McCarthy, and I help people with their breakups. And today we got another show unpacking breakup. Is it too late to not be friends with my ex? This is something I saw in a video post. I think it was for the dating guy. Is it too late to not be friends with my ex? Good question. If you like this video, throw me a like. If you don't like it, if you don't like the stream, don't like it. It's better to have an opinion. If you want to subscribe, hit the notification bells, and you can join the live streams whenever you like. So today we will unpack 3 breakup stories. And also, if anyone wants to do calls, if they have a direct breakup problem or something they want to unpack that's bothering them, that's breakup related, relationship related, we can do a Skype call if the spirit moves you. We do have Aleph on deck today. He said he did have his coffee and he's feeling a lot better.
Hi, everyone.
Yep. And also, we have a contest on Instagram for Coach Mac McCarthy at Instagram where you could win a live coaching session. So you can go to my Instagram at Coach Mac McCarthy. Check that out if you're interested in trying to get a live coaching session. So let's get into the stories today. Let's start out strong. Coach Mac, please help. I effed up. I broke up with my girlfriend 2.5 weeks ago, and now she's calling me bro. We were together for 9.5 months. It was great in my eyes. Notice that you said in your eyes. We were into each other. I hope so. I just entered my 3rd year of college, and she just finished a trade school. She's having trouble finding a job. Her parents are well off, so she's not stressed out about it. Okay, I don't know if that has much to do with your breakup, but I can tell it bothered her that I want to become a lawyer, as her father is one and doesn't like her dad, although she plays nice to get money from him and complains about him later. We'll consider this. How she treats her dad might be how she's going to end up treating you in the long run. I don't think he's that bad a guy. Well, he wasn't your dad and you didn't deal with him 24/7, so you don't really know how that is. Her reason for breaking up with me was that she looked at me more as a friend, and that's just not more, that I'm just not more than that. I agreed and told her, let's be friends. I'm fine with that. If that's fine, if it's true. Only deep down, I wanted her back and thought this would work. Now, 2 weeks later, she texted me, what's up, bro? That's when it hit me. She doesn't have feelings anymore. Well, I mean, I would say if she came to this point, maybe her feelings just were never as strong as yours were. She's definitely claiming you as a friend by calling you bro. I wouldn't take it too personal or hurtful because she already said she wanted to be friends. Now she's just clarifying it by using different language. That's when it hit me. She doesn't have feelings anymore. How can a comment so small carry so much weight? Well, that's up to you. I mean, I could have the same situation. Aleph could have the same situation. And if the girl called me bro, I could laugh it off. I could say, all right, now I know where we stand. I definitely wouldn't say, hey, why'd you call me that? Right? I wouldn't necessarily get angry about it or upset or take it personal. It is what it is. Language is carried out by different individuals in different ways, and you can certainly interpret language in different ways, but why get your feelings hurt about this? Because at the end of the day, it's just a word, and it just clarifies what she already told you, that you guys are friends. Now I'm wondering how to tell her I can't be friends, let alone bros. Again, you're putting a lot of weight on this bros thing. It could have been playful, it could have been funny. She already said she wants to be friends, so don't be so surprised. The reality is you don't want to be friends, it sounds like. And you lied about it, and now it's coming back to you. You didn't deal with it up front. I'm upset that I let it get to this point. I feel weak, but I don't want to let her go. What's your thoughts? Well, if you want her back, don't try to be friends. Because, number one, you need to accept what's going on. And you need to accept the fact that you're being dishonest by claiming friendship. And part of her being a friend would be saying, hey, bro. And you're going, oh, I can't believe she said this to me. Get into no contact. Let her know that you respect her decision. You don't want to be friends at this point. Don't put a lot of extra sauce or explanation on it. Just say, I don't want to be friends at this point. It's nothing personal. We were together for 9 months. It was good for me. I appreciate who you are and what you do, and the bro conversations went. LC, hello, Coach Mac. I finally got your live channel. Yay, most grateful to you, LC. What's LC stand for? Where are you at in the world? Do you have any questions regarding breakups or anything like that, or any comments? Please share. Looks like you're the only one on deck currently. Okay, let's get into the next one. Hey, Coach Mac, I've been seeing my ex off and on for about 6 months. We are broken up after 8 years of living together. She seemed tired of some of my habits, like watching Netflix every night. I've also gained some weight, which she hinted about not liking, and I did nothing. Hinting is big. I've talked about this on the channel. I think a lot of times hints get disregarded as just hot air. In other words, that, oh yeah, they don't like when I do this, or they don't like when I do that. But if you'd been together for 8 years living together, she's probably let you know more than once she doesn't like your TV watching habits or this or that. And on the flip side, you enjoy watching TV. You enjoy maybe eating more and taking it easy. And so until you had a consequence, you didn't do anything about it. I feel like we are both still highly attracted to each other, as we have intimacy 2 or 3 times a week since breaking up, which has been so much better than once a week we did for years. I'm still attracted to her, and it's weird, maybe more attracted to her now that I don't see her as much, so much. Well, this is an absolute truth. I believe that you definitely can gain some intimacy points by missing each other, by not seeing each other. And so if you still have that attraction, that's a solid thing. If you're going to get back together, attraction's key. So you could put that on the shelf and say, okay, if we were to get back together, intimacy is actually better. Maybe living together was the annoying part. So this week she told me it's time to be friends, and that we can't keep seeing each other like this. So that's her saying, this is what I want right now. Follow the rules of my ideas. That she knows I want more, and she doesn't have any desire to be together in a long-term relationship. That might hurt, but that's how she feels. So take it or don't take it. Accept it or don't accept it. I responded with, okay, that's fine. But now a week later, with communication at 0, I'm seeing that I never felt the breakup till now. So now that's a really interesting thing that I think probably gets disregarded, is that the thing about no contact is you don't really start grieving or getting through a breakup until you go no contact, until you guys stop talking. So for 6 months, if you're seeing each other, you're hooking up, you're not really dealing with the breakup yet. It's kind of like if you lost your job and you get severance pay or you get unemployment. It's like you don't really deal with the fact of losing your job till you don't get the fucking paycheck. And for you, it's the same thing. It's like I still was getting intimacy. I was getting more intimacy than ever before. And maybe that was misleading for the fact that you thought, oh, maybe we can get back together. Maybe we can get this back on deck. What I would say is if you're able to accept this right now and go, yeah, you're right. You know what? I appreciate it. Let's give single life a chance. In 2, 3, 4 months, because your intimacy was good, because there was no smoke on the tracks when you let this thing go, she could come back. Because you've left the door open, you've been good since you guys have broken up, and so she has good thoughts and good memories and good intimacy to think about while she's sitting on, we're not together right now. So don't ruin it by doing something needy or weak or overcompensating. I wrote her a letter. Here we go. This is what everyone does, but I haven't sent it yet. Don't send the letter. Don't send the letter. Don't send the letter is my advice. I basically told her that she's the only woman I truly loved, and I think we shouldn't give up on what we had and what we could have. I told her I gave up my Netflix subscription and have been running every day. I'm actually down 7 kilos. I just want to let her know I've changed and I care. I think she already knows that you care. The idea of like, look at me, I've done Netflix, look at me, I'm running every day. It really doesn't transfer over in the breakup, because a lot of times the person that broke up with you goes, yeah, it's too late now, because they made a big decision to break up with you, and it's not going to be so simple as you writing a letter to change that decision. And the idea that you're like, oh, I'm doing so well now and it's been 6 months. Okay. But let her figure that out on her own. And the idea that you shouldn't give up on what we had and what we could have. I know this is very Hollywood-like and you've seen it work in a movie or two. Don't do it. Leave it alone. Accept the breakup. Accept the fact that you've broken up for 6 months. and that it wasn't working out and that it wasn't working out well, and that now you both have to feel like, okay, is this really done now? And then she can decide. She's going to know that you're doing those things. Give the lack of communication a chance to set in, because if she's going to come back, she's not going to come back while you guys are hooking up 2 or 3 times a week. So this has to happen. Do not send the letter is my advice. Sending the letter is overkill. It puts someone in a situation where they feel they have to do something when they don't want to do something. Cali Dago, are you talking about San Diego? LC? Lived in PB and Mission Beach for years, so I did some time over there. What part of Dago are you in? Worked at the Great Fashion Valley, UTC. I went to Mesa College. Maybe I knew you. That was how many years ago was that I lived there? 18, 17. Lived there for 3.5 years. So, yeah, between 15 and 18 years ago. South side of Chicago. I don't know what's considered South Side. Is that near downtown? Really interesting thing about San Diego is their airport is downtown. And when the planes come in, they come in like, it feels like they're right on top of houses in the street. It's amazing when they come in. Southside TJ. Tijuana? Oh, okay. Tijuana's a cool place. Daryl Swanky SoCo, South Colorado. Okay. Daryl, how you been, Mr. Swanky? Everything okay? Everything good? Grand? LC, did you come to the channel because you have a breakup, or you just like the live streams? I got another story on deck. Hello, Coach Mac McCarthy. I've booked a live coaching session for next week, but I'd also like the live stream's take on this breakup of mine. We were together for 5 years and 4 months. I'm 27 and she's the same. Our birthdays are actually 2 days apart. We are both Leos. Well, good for you. Leos are strong, confident individuals, I think. My father's one. My niece is one. I don't know if they work good together. That you'd have to check into an astrology map for that. We broke up over a month ago, and it's been hard because I'm still not sure why exactly. She said she's just not happy and has to figure out some things on her own. Well, she said she's not happy and she has to figure out some things on her own. So do you trust her? Do you believe her word? Why would you think that that's not true, or is that just too vague? She went away to stay with her dad in the mountains for a month before we broke up, and she came back and said during daily meditations with her dad, who's some sort of shaman, she realized that she was holding herself back by being with me, and that she had put me first for a long time, and now she wanted to put herself first. Well, there's a statement. Sounds like she wants to be alone, and she feels like she's sacrificing some things in her own life to be with you. That's not necessarily your fault. That's just her interpretation of what's going on. And so what else can you do but step to the side and go for it, see how it is without me. She has plans to go to some wellness retreat where they drink juice and fast. I like eating healthy, but I'm no vegan or faster. Now that we've broken up, I've given her the space she wanted, and I got out of her way. Good. So you were together 5 years, 4 months. I respected her wishes and accepted it all. Great. Deep down, I thought she'd come back. So did you accept it? You accepted it with a covert contract. Well, she'll be back. The reason was similar. She said something like we broke up once before. She came back after 2 months of no contact. The reason was similar. She said something like she needed to put herself first. So yeah, there's probably a good opportunity that she could run the same course this time, because history repeats itself. People run playbooks. She definitely could come back, but in the meantime, I wouldn't count on it. I mean, if you're 27 years old, you're at the golden part of your life, it's not a bad time to be single. Take some inventory of your own life and maybe put yourself first, just like she wants to put herself first. The weird thing, I always thought she liked putting me first, but I thought it was us she was putting first. Thought means I don't know. Think means my opinion, not hers. I suppose I'm confused, but what she means, I suppose I'm confused by what she means in this statement, and I'm not going to call her to clarify. What's your take on this? Well, she's saying that when she's in a relationship, she puts the other person first. This might be something that her parents did or someone else did. I don't know. But somehow she feels that she can't do the things she wants to do when she's with you. but she's not blaming you at the same time. She's not saying that you did something wrong or anything like that. She's saying basically that while I'm in this relationship, I can't put myself first and the things I want to do. Now, if I was in a live coaching session or I was talking to her, or I was talking to you directly, I would be like, I would dig a little deeper and go into, well, what are the things that she feels like she can't do because she's with you? Is that, for example, traveling abroad alone? Some people don't like to travel with their partners. Going away to some school or program. I don't know. I don't know what that is. You know more than I do. But the reality is, if you've been together for 5 years and 4 months, and right now she's going, I just want to be single and see what it's like. It's very common in people in their mid to late 20s. Happens all the time. It's not as common as people in their 40s that know what they want, know where they're at in life. It's different. All right, we got 4 people on deck. We got 2 likes. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for contributing. Those were the main 3 stories that were on deck. But we do have some Daryl, what's your current situation? Alive and kicking, Matt. Good. Alive and kicking is actually really good. One of the things I was going to talk about today also about this friend situation, is it too late to not be friends anymore? I think it's a really good question to ask, because a lot of times people put themselves, men specifically, I just don't find this with women as much. Women don't seem to have guy friends that are exes as much as guys seem to, oh yeah, I'm willing to be friends with her. It just doesn't come across that men go, yeah, let's stay friends. So this is usually men-based in the relationship, and they usually go, well, I was okay being friends with her, but deep, deep, deep down, what's your intention in that? Huda 218, Huda, 218, where you at in the world? True. Yeah, the idea that the thing you want to come back to, and G Money was on last night. We had a long live stream. He stayed on for a couple hours, and he asked this question. This is what you'd always want to come back to if you really want to get some clarity and get clean and clear on things, and be honest with yourself without having to ask someone else. He said that he had a good buddy of his that's having a lot of trouble. This is a different situation than just friendship, but was having a lot of trouble moving on from an ex that had a daughter that he was close to. He said the daughter was like 8-9 years old, and that he was a big part of the daughter's life, whatnot, or close to the daughter. And he said one of the things he had trouble letting go of his ex is that he was attached to the daughter. So G Money, the great G Money, asked me, what's your take on this, Mac? How do you think to go about talking to him about this? I said, well, the simple question is, here's a great scenario. If your ex has a new boyfriend, husband, partner, whatever, do you still want to be a part of that kid's life? Or are you doing that to somehow gain points while she's still single or appears to be single so that you can get back together? The reality is, I'd say that if he answers honestly, probably if she had a new boyfriend, you probably don't want to play stepdad anymore. Now, the other part of this is it too late to be friends, right? Well, here's the crazy thing. Here's the really crazy thing. If you're going to be honest, if your ex gets back with someone new, right? What if your ex gets back with someone new? Or, I'm sorry, gets with a new boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. Are you still wanting to be friends with them? That's the question to ask, because then you can be really honest. Do you still want to sideline it? Do you still want to put yourself in that situation? A lot of people would say no. A lot of people, once that question comes up, and then they go, okay, now I know that I'm just playing this game to try to be, to try to get them back. I mean, because how pitiful is that? Like, I've been in a couple situations where I've been dating a woman where the ex is kind of orbiting and being around and being and it's kind of comical. It's kind of funny in some ways and a little bit pitiful, because once you know that your partner's dating someone else, unless there are people out there that have similar jobs, and usually this is with people that are a little bit older in their 40s or 50s, I think, that they can honestly stay friends. One situation that comes to mind was that someone, thanks, Ernesto. I appreciate you, bud. We got a live coaching session and giveaway coming up, too, on IG. LC, there's another one of San Diego's finest. Ernesto lives in PB. I believe in PB, right? Yeah, the The getting back to is that this guy was dating a woman that turned into. See, when someone here's an interesting thing when you're dating someone, and they go, "Yeah, I think it's just better we stay friends." It's much easier to go, "Yeah, okay, actually, we can be cool, we can be friends." And the woman he was dating actually hooked him up with his future girlfriend, and which was a friend of hers, which can work. But this whole idea that you're gonna stay friends with your ex, it rarely works because your intentions are clouded. And if you're saying like, "Oh yeah, no, I really do," the best way is to move on. Sure, give yourself an opportunity at being single and see what happens. Have some fun with it. Have some real fun with it. What do you think, Aleph? Would you be friends with your ex-girlfriend?
I could be friend with my ex, except for the worst one. Sorry to say that, but it's like
You don't have to be sorry.
Someone when we know each other enough, I know that if even we could not be together, but we could be friends. But someone is not good to be friend with. You know what I mean, right?
Someone's not good to be friends with. Yeah.
Yes.
That's an interesting thing because it's different to have that's really, I never thought of it that way because there are women that probably, if you don't want to be friends with them, kind of says something about your relationship because you're like, they weren't a good friend to their other friends.
Yeah.
That goes back to, I before I even read the book, but No More Mr. Nice Guy by Dr. Robert Glover, he talks about really, when you're dating, keep an eye on how your partner or who you're dating treats other people. I always say you're next. So when people treat other people and their friends or family members or colleagues, and you just start dating them and they're on their best behavior, like I said, that's how they're going to end up treating you. So that you're right, actually. There's some people that you're like, yeah, you could be a really good friend. But I would say that the ex that would be a really good friend, you still are attracted to them because they're a really good friend.
Not really.
No?
But it's like, yeah, for some moment it's like, oh shit, we kind of feel good because we have some feelings before. So not that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't work very well.
Yeah, I would say that the friendship would have to turn more into like acquaintance where you don't talk very often. You might just check in once every couple months or something like that. Friends doesn't work with an ex. If you still have feelings for him, Huda, that's the gospel.
That's right.
That's the truth. I mean, you can't go any further than that. It's very, very, very true. What do you mean PB is picking up now? Are you guys allowed to go out? Are you allowed to party, or they just knock everything down? PB is actually a place in San Diego where I used to live that's near the beach, really cool beach town. Pacific Beach, cool place to live, man. And everyone's in their, well, I could be wrong, Ernesto. Everyone's in their 20s to early 30s. I'd be too old now, probably in my late 30s. But the vibe's cool, the people are cool, the weather's excellent, and it's just one of those places. There's a lot of partying going on. I maybe I'm wrong because it got quite expensive, like most of California. It's turned into a very expensive place to live. It used to be where you could find like a cheap room to rent. I mean, Ernesto, we had a place in Mission Beach that was, I think, $1,600 for a 3-bedroom, 1-bath with a stone's throw. I mean, you could throw a rock at the beach. I don't think those kind of places are available anymore. Things got really, really, really expensive because everyone's doing the Airbnb over there. But I guess everywhere's gotten more expensive from 20 years ago. Nothing profoundly life-changing these days, Coach. Just turning into reaffirm. I have good insight to be found each time I tune in. Right on, Daryl. Digital Cannon, who's called in, who's called in twice to get some quick advice. Hope you're doing well, bud. And so we got a Southern California crew here. We got LC from SoCal, Daryl's in Colorado, and we got Azam from Saudi Arabia. So he's coming out of the cuts here, right? That's good that things are coming back for you, though, Ernesto. Digital Cannon had an interesting situation. Thank you. Hope all is well. If your life too, my life's pretty good. We all have our days and moments, though. We all have our days and moments that you got to deal with, and you think, why am I in such a bad mood? Sometimes it's just sleep. It's going for $2,100, 2 rooms, but if you ask me, well worth the price for the perks. Turning in from the Sam Ellis tuning in from the Philippines. P.I. Pinoy Pride. Sleep, very true. Sleep's underrated, man. I'll tell you what, that's one of the things in my late 30s now. If I don't get my sleep, I'm fucked. It's like a bad mood all day. It's going for 2,100, 2 rooms, but if you ask me, well worth the price for the perks. Did rents go down since COVID, Ernesto? I'm just curious. I used to stay in the Bay Point apartments too. That was like one of those. What's up, Francois? I'm 26 and I've noticed how vital a good sleep schedule is. Oh man, I don't think I noticed it before as much. I think I could recover a lot quicker. Coffee doesn't work as well as it used to too either. Like I just don't get as awake from a coffee as it used to when I was younger. Like now, coffee's like jet fuel for you, huh, Aleph?
It's like a drug that I need to get into my blood vein.
What if they had injections of coffee? That's funny. I'm gonna shoot up some coffee.
Because I'm addicted to it.
You're addicted to coffee, but you only have one a day, right?
Yeah, just for one.
That's not that bad. That's okay.
It could be 2. No, it's...
Coffee has health benefits.
Yes, it does.
Did you know that they actually have coffee enemas?
Animals?
An enema. An enema means you put it up your ass.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Aleph's completely confused right now. It's some kind of clean out thing. It's like it'll clean you out, and so coffee, just like you have to go to the bathroom after you sometimes drink coffee. It's supposed to have some cleaning methods if you go the other end. So if you want to try that sometime, you could probably look it up, Aleph. You don't seem interested though.
Animals coffee.
Who is that on the mic? His name's Aleph. 23 or 24 now?
23.
23 years old. Douching for the butt, LC, yeah. Now there's, it's supposed to be some kind of, what do they call that? There's other ones where they're supposed to put a tube up there and clean things out like the aquarium. Because you got a lot of backed up stuff up there. And so sometimes they put different things up there. I've seen this at Archivaic. No, don't know how we went into this direction, but yeah. But if you're interested, Aleph, you could probably find a way. Found out the girl who smokes pot that's hot was playing games with another guy. Well, hot women always have more options. Whenever you're dating a woman that's quote-unquote hot, better be on your game. Because within a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month, 2 months, if you're dating, they're going to get a lot of attention and have a lot of options. And if you're dating and you're not official together, you're going to have to handle that. So what would be classified as playing games with another guy would be my question. I mean, what does that mean? She ain't hot enough to put up with the BS. But I mean, how do you know that she's playing games with another guy? The other guy's approached you. You know what's always surprised me is like, there's been a few situations where I remember someone had a breakup with a girlfriend, and then they hooked up with someone else, and then that guy came to the ex-boyfriend, and who the girl was seeing both of them at the same time, and then they both like exchanged notes on getting played by the same girl. Like, oh, she did this to me, she did that. It's like, what point are you done, dude? You know what I mean? It's like, what point are you done? Like, if someone else that's hooking up with your girlfriend comes to you and starts telling you how bad she is and that you shouldn't be with her. This was one breakup story from a long time ago. I was just like, dude. Nope, they gave a 90-day grace if needed, but would be prorated to your future monthly payments. Oh, that sucks. And if not paid in full at the end of the lease or move, then full payment is due at that moment. Wow. So basically, they're giving you 90 days. They're tacking it on. That's weak. Screenshotted his convo with her and put it on his Instagram. Was weird, but glad I found it because it proves she was playing games. Wow. So this other dude made this apparent that some other woman was playing games with him. He put it on Instagram for everyone else to see. What's that say about him? It's like you feel like some girl's playing you and then you're going to share it with Instagram? That's pretty weak. Oh, I want Instagram to know everything about my relationship. It's like, okay. But I mean, let's be, he was He was a druggie. But let's be honest, you knew there was something wrong with this woman. Right? So, something's not right. Something's not right. It was deeper than her just wanting to smoke pot, I think. If you got to talk yourself into staying with someone, why are you with them? It should be smooth, clean, cool, calm, fun, especially in the beginning. Yeah, she was out of her mind. Wow, we're going to go even further with it. She was out of her mind. So the question is, where do you meet people like this, right? Is this online mainly? Last night I did the Paradox of Choice book review, and it was interesting to talk about the idea that more choices make things more difficult for people. Yeah. And I was saying that dating apps give you, 1,000 more choices. Like, you're clouded a little bit by it. She tried contacting me yesterday. So what'd you do? Did you tell her you know everything? Were you like, I know everything from that Instagram post. I know that you've been playing games with another guy, and I'm done. I'm finished.
Sometimes when we met someone, how we could meet that one is like, maybe it depend on the social that we spending time.
Yeah, sure. The environment you meet them in, right?
Yeah, the environment.
Most of the times it's jobs for people, or if they go to university or something like that. But the dating apps is different because it's just so many.
Like a random thing.
It's so many choices, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think why people get fed up with having to pick one of the random people in the dates. But other people like it. People, they become used to it. Nope, I didn't respond to her. I'm over the BS. Wasn't worth it. Good for you. Move forward with your head high. It's been hard to spin plates with COVID. Do you know spinning plates, Aleph?
Spinning plates?
Spinning plates is like, it's a theory a guy wrote a book about called Rational Male. And basically he says that when you're single, you should be seeing multiple women.
Oh, yeah.
To increase your options of meeting a better one, and also increase your attraction level because you're not dialed in on one and overly invested in one. And a lot of people said this is much harder to do when there's COVID. So I don't know. I don't know how strict it was. I know California's been more strict. I know, Ernesto, that my niece said she went out to San Diego, I think like 2 or 3 months ago, and she said it was cracking. It was going off. That everything was outside, but she seemed like, so that seems like a valid thing. But would there be a creative, resourceful way to deal with that? I don't know. Maybe more house parties, right? Or is everyone got to, like, the interesting thing about COVID is everyone has a different look on it, a different paranoia. Some people are really scared about it. Some people aren't. So it's been, was it much easier before COVID? Maybe it was. But I would say that, isn't there the same amount of people living in, like, people didn't leave because of the college town? I don't know. I'm not sure. Well, we're 35 minutes in here. And Digital Cannon has decided that he's done with the pot-smoking hot chick that plays games with other guys online. Go for you. Good for you. Good call. Time to move forward, move on. Move on strong. What's up, Dylan Bryan? This guy's from Tasmania. Do you know where Tasmania is, Aleph?
Tasmania, yes.
The island. Have you been there before?
No, but I would like to.
The Tasmanian devils, right? Have you seen those before?
Yes.
They eat cats, I think.
Really?
Yeah, they eat cats.
The Tasmanian things?
Yeah, they eat cats just for fun.
Really?
I'm just messing with you. I'm just messing with him because he likes cats a lot. I wonder if there is an animal that targets cats.
Perhaps dogs.
Snakes.
Snake too. Sometimes I don't know much about that. But sometimes when cat meet the snake, some of them might be run away, or some of them gonna be against them.
Yeah, well, I think the snake will win if he has enough poison.
Yeah.
I just turned 40 and had an ex important to me, reach out. I responded naturally without any expectation. I responded naturally without an expectation. That's how I knew I was finally over. It feels liberating to respond without fear. Yeah, that's so true, Daryl. Actually, I think that whenever someone says, "Oh, my ex called me or came to my door, did this," and you were nervous, it can still work out, but that's still in a place where you're probably going to overcompensate, or you're probably going to do some things that are a bit needy or weak. But I know what you mean. It's like a good feeling. You're like, she called me up, and it's like, okay, what's going on? How you been? And I remember, I've talked about this before. I wouldn't call it an ex because it was just someone I saw for a long time. But we had a good relationship and whatnot, and called me out of the blue like 2 years later, a year and a half, 2 years later. And I just remember no expectations. It wasn't like, oh, great to hear from you. It was like, oh, cool, da-da-da. The conversation just flowed. So if something's going to happen, Daryl, it's much more likely to happen when you don't care and it's finally over. But I like the word liberating. That's nice. Zuko. I got ex who did infidelity and was influenced by her friends, but now she's looking for me. Can you explain to me why she's looking for me? No, I would need to know your story, Zuko. Where are you at in the world? I wouldn't know. I need to know more of the story. So the idea that you think that whether an individual is influenced by their friends or not doesn't change the result. It just proves that they're someone that can be influenced by their friends. And I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong. Do you want to be with someone that could be influenced in a bad way by their friend? Like, if you have a girlfriend, or if you have a boyfriend, or you have a partner, or you have a husband or wife, and you're like, yeah, their friend brainwashed them, or their friend did this, does that mean the friend's a bad person, or does that just mean that your partner's gullible or easy to be talked into bad situations? I still don't think that gets them off the hook. Yeah. It doesn't make me go, oh, let me blame the friend. Right? I've seen Tasmanian devils a lot of times, and I never knew they ate cats. I was just joking, Dylan. They got some mean teeth on them. Daryl, that's the best feeling, knowing you moved on. Very liberating. I have a husky that eats everything. Huskies are big dogs.
Yeah, I like them too.
Huskies? Have you seen huskies in Thailand?
Yeah.
It's way too hot here for a husky, I would think.
Another one that look Alaskan too that I saw in Laguna.
Ah.
Yes. When I go to the beach, there is some foreigner gonna have that big dog, and they are friendly.
They're all friendly.
Yes, I mean that dog. I mean the dog.
Man, it's kind of hot weather for a husky though. That's tough, man.
So yeah, I did ask them to how they treat it. She said that, of course, when she leave the house, she gotta be open the air conditioner, like all the time. Sometimes
For the dog.
yeah, some hot day they have to.
Fuck yeah. I mean, we're in 80 degrees with humidity, and they got a coat on them all the time, man. Zuko, if you want, I can do a live breakdown of your story right now. I got some time, about 20 minutes. Mac, have you had any rebounds with your exes? If so, was it awkward or anything? Rebounds? Meaning that I got with someone as a rebound after? Have you had any rebounds with your exes? Do you mean that the ex was a rebound, or do you mean that I rebounded with something else after? That's where I'm confused. Can you clarify that? What do you mean by that? One thing that I would say, though, is that people, sometimes bitter people out of breakups will go, oh, they just did a rebound, or they did a monkey branch. Sometimes those rebounds work out for people. Sometimes people meet someone right after you, or they already had someone lined up. It wasn't really a rebound. I've definitely had a couple situations where it wasn't long that I was single, but I haven't went back to an ex in like the same ex and rebounded back to them. No, once you're broken up. It's an all male show today. No men on, or no females. I just actually looked at the analytics on my channel, and it's 54% men and 48% women. It's pretty equal, huh?
Yeah.
That's not too different. 48% people are from the U.S. I think UK and Canada are number 2 and 3, and then India is number 4 at 5%. And guess who's down the next one with 3%? Philippines.
Oh.
Yeah. I've actually had a few Filipino clients, actually.
Sayang.
What's that?
It's mean babe in Philippines.
Sayang?
Sayang.
Sayang means babe?
Yeah.
Where did that come from?
It's from my friend that she is Filipino too.
She taught you that one. She called you Sayang?
Sometimes it's like, yeah, sometime.
Sayang. It's funny, there's a word like that in every language. It's in Thai, it's tilak, right?
Yeah, tira.
Oh, God. When I hear that from the foreigners with their girlfriends, it's like, hey, T-Rack. Hey, T-Rack. Come here, T-Rack. Do you need a certain amount of followers to have a live chat? I believe that I think that you need over 1,000 subscribers to have a live chat. I think that's what it is for YouTube. You definitely don't just start a YouTube channel and then have the ability to do it though. So that would be the case. All right, folks. Does anyone else have some closing questions? About 5 minutes in here. I'm going to close it out early. Got some things to do today, I think. I know.
So could you be friends with your ex?
Me? Sure, why not?
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm friends with them, it's at a point where probably we've been broken up for a while. It's definitely not something you're going to do right after you break up.
Yeah.
And the only time I think it would work is if it was over for a long time before you officially broke up. But I think being friends is something that you can't do right away because you're changing roles so quickly. It's a totally different role, right? It's like you saying, could you be a teacher right after you were a student? Probably you got to do some training. There's some things you probably have to do. It's different.
Takes time.
Yeah, it's different, right? It's like it would take time. I would think.
Mm-hmm.
But do people do it? Stop feeling bad about the overweight chick. Me? Are you talking about me or someone else? Do you need a certain amount of followers or a live chat? Oh, you're still feeling bad about. I'm sorry, because I was like, stop feeling bad. Still feeling bad about the overweight. He was, just to put it in context, Digital Cannon had a girl he was seeing that he liked, that he described as sweet and very into him, but she was a bit overweight, which means probably she's very overweight because he was being nice. And he felt bad about it. But the reality is, right on, Daryl. The reality is you shouldn't feel bad. You're not attracted to her in that way. Mac, how can I call you on the next live stream, but I don't have Skype? Can I call you by Facebook? Some people call it FaceTime. No, it would have to be Skype at this point. So maybe you have to download it. All right, folks, I'm going to call it a day. I might be back on later on tonight, but I certainly will be back on at the same time tomorrow morning, about 10 a.m. Indo-China time. Everyone have a good one. Take it easy. Take it slow. It's Curtains.